Hi everyone, welcome. Today we're talking about Spright. So Spright is an archetype that was released with Power of the Elements back in 2022, and Power of the Elements quickly changed up the meta when it was released, as it also gave us the heavy hitter known as Tearlaments, and love them or hate them, you can't deny that they are one of the best strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! In almost every format where you could play those cards. Power of the Elements also gave us Goaty, and if you haven't seen the video that I did on Goaty, I'll link that here so you can go watch it. Spright was a very serious meta deck upon its release, as Ronin Totem was legal at the time, allowing for some pretty, dare I say, broken combos with Swap Frog and Totally Awesome. Spright and Tearlaments duked it out during this format for the #1 slot, a battle that Tearlaments would come out on top due to the release of Magnificent Mavens and the Ishizu card retrains, and Ronin Totem receiving a ban. However, we can still make Totally Awesome utilizing Mirror Mage of the Ice Barrier alongside Swap Frog and Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier. This gives us the two level 2 Aqua monsters we need. So let's dive in. Spright is an archetype that consists of level 2 Thunder monsters that are either Dark or Fire attribute. They mainly focus on rank 2 and link 2 plays to gain massive resource advantage to overwhelm your opponent. First off, we have Spright Blue, arguably the best Spright monster. Blue not only can special summon itself, but find another Spright monster on special summon and add it to your hand, allowing for some follow-up almost every time it hits the board. Spright Red can special summon itself from your hand, so long as you have a level or link 2 monster on the field. The other effect of Red is a monster negate, but you must tribute another level, rank, or link 2 monster. If it was an extra deck monster that you tributed, you can destroy the negated card. This prevents board wipes like Nibiru and hand traps like Ghost Ogre or Ash Blossom. Carrot is the sister card to Red, as its effects are all the same, aside from Carrot negates spells and traps. This helps out against board breakers like Lightning Storm, and also stops infinite impermanence. Spright Jet is the next best monster, right behind Blue. Jet on special summon will find you a Spright spell or trap, and can special summon itself from your hand if you control a level 2 or a rank 2 monster, making it pair perfectly with Blue. Finally, for the main deck monsters is Pixies. Pixies is sort of a glorified Honest for the Spright engine. It can special summon itself all the same, but contribute itself to give its attack to another level, rank, or link 2 monster during battle. Spright Starter is a card that saw a limited 2 because of how powerful it is. Thankfully, we're back at 3 as it was actually short-lived on the semi-limited list. This quick play spell can summon any Spright monster from your deck, but you lose life points equal to that monster's attack. A small price to pay when you can do this during the draw phase to summon Jet, playing around not only Droll and Lockbird, but also Effect Veiler. This does lock you into level, rank, and link 2 monsters though for the rest of the turn. Spright Gamma Burst is an exceptional quick play spell as well. Acting as a battle trick card, you can buff all of your level, rank, and link 2 monsters by 1400 attack, making for some huge damage for OTKs. You can also banish it from your graveyard to give a single monster 1400 attack. Spright Double Cross is our trap card, and boy is it good. This card has a variety of uses: stealing an opponent's monster, attaching one of their monsters as XYZ material, special summoning a monster from their graveyard or your graveyard, and yes, this card can recycle Totally Awesome, giving you a second Toad negate. Needless to say, this is one of the best interruptions that Spright offers natively. Onto the extra deck, Gigantic Spright is our rank 2 XYZ monster. This card is very powerful as it can special summon any level 2 monster from your deck, and you can even use a link 2 monster as material to summon it, making Silhouette Rabbit and Angel Statue Azuroon a very playable combo in Spright decks. If it has an extra deck monster as material, its attack doubles, becoming a 3200 attack tower. Also, neither player can special summon anything but level link rank 2 monsters, meaning your opponent cannot activate Nibiru. Spright Elf and Spright Sprint are our link 2 monsters. Elf can be used as targeting protection for anything that it points to, and can also bring back a level 2 monster from your graveyard, or if your opponent controls a monster, a link or rank 2 as well. Elf, however, has been banned, as it should be, not because of Spright though, but because of how Tearlaments was able to abuse this card. Sprint is our newer monster and is more of a spiritual successor to Elf. On Link Summon, you send a level 2 monster from your deck to the graveyard, usually a Nimble Angler, so you can summon 2 beavers and make an easy rank 2. You can also use Sprint to bounce your opponent's things. Now that you know what the Sprite cards do, we can talk about cards that are commonly played alongside them, and also not so commonly played alongside them. Deep Sea Diva, a card that has been around for a very long time, saw a ton of play in Spright because it could summon a Yamatoko Orochi from your deck. Orochi can be used as a level 8 tutor monster for the summon of a synchro monster, giving Spright away into yet another banned card, Baron de Fleur. Baron did not receive her ban from Spright specifically, but definitely was very powerful here. Kartorin, the hidden gem of the seafront, is a wonderful card to use as an extender, and also allows Spright decks to play both Nimble Beaver and Deep Sea Diva. This card becomes extra special when you include Nimble Momonga in the mix, as Kartorin can special summon itself from the graveyard if you control an earth and a water monster. Yes, this is Magic Christmas Land, but it's a very cool interaction. Evil Hero Inferno Prodigy is another extender that saw plenty more play, simply because it can special summon itself and be a level 2 on the field for your Spright monsters to see so they can special summon themselves. Nightmare Corruptor Ibli is a card that to this day can still mess some people up. The combo is usually to summon her off of Gigantic Spright, make a Link 2, then ship her off to the opponent's side of the field. EMP Meow Mine is another newer option to summon off of Gigantic, involving Link monsters. This card bounces a card to your opponent's hand if a Link 2 leaves your field, usually an SP Little Knight or an IP Masquerena. The Melfi cards and the Live Twin cards are also extremely interesting engines that saw a bunch of play with Spright. However, Spright currently would see play with the Fiendsmith cards. Fiendsmith Engraver and his gang of goons is a very splashable engine in almost every deck right now. With Spright, you must play your Fiendsmith lines before locking yourself with the Spright cards, so it can be a little trickier to play, but can be very rewarding and punishing for your opponent. There's a whole bunch of rank 2 monsters that Spright can utilize, Cat Shark being one of the main OTK routes. A 6400 attack Gigantic Spright sounds pretty crazy, right? And Gigantic Spright's attack does actually change the original attack, so that card works with it. Number 29 Mannequin Cat is another extremely powerful card, allowing for some real shenanigans to occur, and number 2 Ninja Shadow Mosquito is an amazing card to turn off an opponent's monster and deal them some damage. Herald of Pure Light is a hilarious way to return your hand traps to your hand before passing your turn in cases of not OTKing your opponent, and Sky Cavalry Centuria is a great way to make sure your Gigantic Spright gets in for full damage, and don't even get me started on number 65 Gin Buster. All in all, Spright has had like a ton of ups and downs, and it's seen some serious play as well. Do you think Spright is still playable today? And if you do, comment your favorite way to play it. And if you want to see the full Spright Fiendsmith board that I've cooked up, tell me that in the comments and I'll make the video about it. Make sure to like this video, and if you like content like this, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see the videos when I post them almost immediately. So until next time, I've been Danosaur, thanks for watching.